Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving deep into the world of AI with this guy named Kevin Patrick Murphy. Now, you might not know his name, but trust me, he's a huge deal.
Absolutely.
We're going to be working from this awesome article on AIVIPs.org. So if you want to check it out later, you totally should. They have all these amazing profiles of people who are really shaping AI. So before we even get into what he's done, let's paint a picture of this Kevin Patrick Murphy. Who are you? AI mystery man.
Right. So imagine this. THD from Berkeley. But not just A&Y PhD. He studied under Stuart Russell.
Wow.
Basically AI royalty. Then it's off to MIT for some research. And then ultimately, he lands at Google.
Wow.
Not your typical academic path.
Definitely not. So
No.
we're talking about someone who can handle the really brainy stuff, but also knows how to put it into practice, which has got to be key in a field like AI where things are moving so fast.
Exactly, and that's what makes Murphy so fascinating. He's deeply involved in the theoretical side of AI, particularly this thing called probabilistic machine learning.
All right, hit the brakes for a sec. Probabilistic machine learning. Lay that one on me.
Think of it this way. Most AI you hear about is all about certainty. You feed it data, it spits out a clear answer. But the real world is messy, full of maybes, what ifs. Probabilistic machine learning is all about building AI. That can actually deal with uncertainty, can make predictions, even when things are not crystal clear.
So like AI that can think on its feet a little bit.
It's pretty crucial if you're going to build AI that can actually function in the real world.
Yeah, totally. And Murphy's been a pioneer in this area, particularly with things like Bayesian networks and dynamic systems.
Okay.
Those sound a little intimidating, even for a deep dive. Give us the cheat sheet version.
Okay, so Bayesian networks are essentially a way to map out these complex relationships between different pieces of information, even when there's uncertainty. They help AI systems make sense of messy data, like figuring out if a blurry image is a cat or a dog. Dynamic systems are all about AI. That deals with things that change over time, like trying to predict stock prices or navigating a robot through a crowded street. Stuff that's constantly in flux.
Okay, that's starting to click a little bit more. So this guy's clearly brilliant, but he also wrote this massive book, Machine Learning, a Probabilistic Perspective. I've seen it around, but got to be honest, that title makes me want to take a nap.
I get it, but this book isn't just some dry textbook. It's considered the Bible
Really?
for anyone who wants to understand probabilistic machine learning.
Wow, so what makes it so special? Is it like written in plain English or something?
That's part of it. Murphy's a master at taking incredibly complex ideas and making them accessible. He doesn't shy away from the math, but he also knows how to explain it in a way that actually makes sense.
So it's like the Rosetta Stone of probabilistic machine learning. That's pretty impressive. And I guess it explains why it's become the go-to textbook.
Exactly. For AI courses everywhere, it's even considered better than Bishop's book.
Ooh, shots fired. Okay, you can't just casually diss another AI textbook without spilling the tea. What makes Murphy's book better?
All right. Bishop's pattern recognition and machine learning is a classic, no doubt. But Murphy's book just has this clarity, this elegance to it. He takes you through the core concepts, builds up the math step by step, and then shows you how to actually apply it.
Right. I'm sold. I'm going to have to pick up a copy myself. But let's shift gears a bit. We know Murphy didn't just stay in academia. He went to Google.
Oh, yeah.
And not just as some consultant. He was deeply involved in their AI initiatives.
Right. And we're not talking about some side project. This is the stuff that shapes how we use Google every single day. Search algorithms, recommendation systems, the ads that seem to know what you're thinking.
Wait, seriously. So this guy's work is the reason my YouTube feed is constantly suggesting me 80s music video.
Yeah, maybe not specifically 80s music videos, but you're getting the idea. He had a knack for figuring out how to apply these probabilistic models to make Google's AI smarter and more effective. He was involved in making those recommendations more accurate, more personalized. He was helping Google's AI deal with the real-world messiness of user behavior. It's really fascinating to see how someone with such a deep understanding of AI can apply it to products billions of people use.
Right. It's almost like he's bridging the gap between science fiction and reality.
Yeah.
But when we talk about AI having this much influence, it raises some big questions.
Oh, absolutely. Questions about control, about bias, about the impact AI is going to have on society. And the thing is, Murphy's not shying away from those questions. He's actually one of the leading voices, calling for ethical and responsible AI development.
So it's not just about making AI powerful. It's about making sure it's used for the right reasons.
Exactly.
That's refreshing to hear, especially with all the hand-wringing about AI taking over the world.
Exactly. And Murphy's approach to this isn't some vague philosophy. It's deeply rooted in his work on probabilistic models.
Hold on. How does probabilistic machine learning tie into ethics? I wouldn't have thought those two things go together.
Yeah, it's subtle but really profound. So one of the big challenges with AI is that it can perpetuate existing biases. If you train AI on biased data, you get biased AI.
Makes sense.
But probabilistic models, by their very nature, force you to account for uncertainty.
Okay, so instead of just spitting out a black and white answer, the AI is saying, hey, there's a chance I could be wrong here.
Precisely. And that's incredibly important when you're dealing with things that have real-world consequences. Imagine an AI system that's helping to make loan decisions. If it's based on a deterministic model, it might just blindly follow those historical patterns and deny loans to people from certain neighborhoods, just because that's what the data says.
Ouch, yeah. I could see how that could perpetuate systemic biases.
But a probabilistic model, trained in the right way, can flag that potential bias and say, hey, there's a lot of uncertainty here. We need to take a closer look.
Oh, so it's like building in a safety mechanism.
Exactly. That forces the AI to question its own assumptions.
I like it. It's like that old saying, measure twice, cut once, but for AI.
That's a great analogy. And it gets at something really fundamental about Murphy's work. It's not just about making AI smarter. It's about making it more thoughtful, more responsible.
We touched on this a bit earlier, but Murphy's work is influencing some pretty cutting-edge areas of AI, right? Like reinforcement learning and explainable AI.
Absolutely. Reinforcement learning, or RL for short, is one of the most exciting areas in AI right now. It's all about teaching AI agents to learn through trial and error, just like humans do.
So instead of programming AI with specific rules, you're letting it figure things out on its own.
Exactly. Think about it like training a dog. You give it rewards for good behavior, and eventually it learns what to do. But with RL, we're talking about AI agents, that can learn to do incredibly complex things. Play games?
Whoa. Control robots. Even write code.
Wow. So how does Murphy fit into all of this?
Well, one of the big challenges with RL is that the real world is full of uncertainty. You can't predict every possible outcome.
Right.
But Murphy's work on probabilistic models has given researchers the tools they need to build RL agents that can handle that uncertainty.
So they can adapt and learn, even when things don't go according to plan.
Exactly. They can make decisions based on incomplete information. They can learn from their mistakes, and they can even anticipate potential problems.
Okay, so probabilistic models are basically giving these RL agents a healthy dose of common sense.
In a way, yes. And it's not just RL. Murphy's work is also having a big impact on explainable AI, or XAI.
Remind me what XAI is all about again.
It's the idea that AI systems should be able to explain their reasoning, why they made a certain decision, how they arrived at a certain conclusion.
Oh, so instead of just giving us an answer,
right,
the AI can show its work, so to speak. That seems crucial if we're going to trust AI with more, absolutely, and more important decisions. And it's not just about trust. XAI can also help us to identify and correct biases in AI systems.
Yeah, so if we can peel back the curtain and see how the AI is thinking, we can spot those biases and hopefully correct them.
It's a really important area of research. And again, Murphy's work on these probabilistic models is laying the groundwork for making XAI possible.
Okay, so we've got probabilistic models making AI more adaptable, more ethical, and more transparent. This Kevin Patrick Murphy sounds like a real visionary.
He is, and I think one of the most important things about his work is that he's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI, but always doing it with this deep awareness of the potential consequences.
So he's not just building cool tech for the sake of it. He's actually thinking about how it's going to impact the world.
Exactly. And I think that's a really important message for anyone who's interested in AI, whether you're a researcher, developer, or just someone who uses AI-powered products every day.
Yeah, we've all got a responsibility to make sure this technology is used for good.
Couldn't agree more. And I think Murphy's work provides a really inspiring roadmap for how to do that. He's showing us that we can build AI that is powerful and ethical, AI that can solve these real-world problems without sacrificing our values.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you hope our listener will remember about Kevin Patrick Murphy?
I think it's this. Murphy isn't just building algorithms, he's building a future. And that future is one where AI is a force for good in the world, a force that empowers us to solve complex problems, make better decisions, and ultimately live better lives.
That's a future I can get behind. Big thanks to AIVIPs.org for putting together that amazing profile of Kevin Patrick Murphy if you're interested in learning more about the people shaping the world of AI. Definitely check out their website.
And to our listener, if this deep dive sparked your curiosity about probabilistic machine learning, or maybe the ethical considerations surrounding AI, that's fantastic. There's a whole universe of knowledge out there just waiting to be explored.
So keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep diving deep. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.